Movie Reviews with Uncle Milton.
Hello everyone, and welcome to an evening with Uncle Milton. I am creating this video series to review old horror films with you fans out there. If you love those scary movies like I do, then you're in for a treat. We will be talking about many great films, like Halloween and Friday the 13th and Debbie Does Dallas. And we'll be talking about that scary man of Nightmare on Elm Street and John Holmes films. I love the John Holmes films. Anyway, tonight we will talk about Halloween, the 1978 horror classic by a young man at the time, John Carpenter. Oh, it was a good, scary film, and that time was a great time to be alive for horror, because what followed was great slasher films. But Halloween, see, a lot of people get confused, but it was not the original slasher film. No, the horror films came before that, like Texas Chainsaw Massacre and Psycho, and you had Black Christmas and a lot of other horror films. But Halloween broke them away, the slasher films. Now, on Halloween, every year they always show that film in one way or another, whether it's on TV or on video disc, Blu-ray, or DVD. Back then it was VHS, and we had beta. I had the beta one, the little small one. I had a lot of beta tapes back then. I had Debbie Does Dallas, Debbie Does the Morn, Debbie was a busy girl anyway. I had a lot of her tapes. And I had some Disney films. And I had a lot of horror films. My favorite were horror, yes. Anyway, back to what we were talking about. What was it? Halloween. Now, I met John Carpenter once. It was in the 1980s. It was in a bar in Jersey. We were in the restroom together. Well, I went in first, and then he walked in, and he went to the stall next to me. And as I was standing there, I looked over. I was shy, and I built the courage, and I said, "Mr. Carpenter, I loved your film Halloween." He looked over, and he said, "Shut the fuck up, you creep." And he walked out. Very nice man. Very nice man. It was the way he said it. It was a true gentleman. Anyway, I saw the movie in the theater. It was fun. A fun movie to watch in the theater. I enjoyed looking around at all the ladies with the big... Anyway, they were fun to watch. The movie was too. I remember, and I want to explain to you the film now. And I guess that is when they call spoilers. So if people don't want to be spoiled and they never saw the film, which I cannot imagine a person who never did see the film. It was a great film. But if you didn't, I will give you 1 minute to get up and to leave the room before I speak. Anyway, Halloween started off with a Dr. Loomis. He was in a brown overcoat with a woman nurse, and she was sitting there, and they drove to the hospital. Not because one of them was sick. They drove because I don't know why, but he had some work to do to stop them from releasing a patient named Michael Myers. Now, Michael Myers killed his sister on Halloween night years before that, after she had quick sex with her boyfriend. It was fast sex. They went up the stairs and he walked down the stairs. They probably had sex on the steps. But anyway, it was fast. And he walked up the stairs, Michael Myers did. And he killed his sister. While she was brushing her hair. Oh, the audacity he had. He barged in that room as she stood there, long brown hair. And she brushed her hair with her titties showing. Oh, perky titties. Anyway, back to the present day. He was in the hospital, and Dr. Loomis was driving there, and a bunch of crazy people were running around in white nightgowns. You know, the ones with the slit down the back, and your eyes hang out, those nightgowns. And as he got out, Michael Myers jumped on top of the truck, the car. It was a car, not a truck. The station wagon, to be exact. And he attacked the nurse. And as she escaped, he jumped in and drove away. I don't know how. I don't know who taught him how to drive, but he did drive away. He was a pretty good driver, actually. Better than me. Anyway. The film then resumes with a young lady. I believe her name was Laurie. She was going to school, and a little boy stopped her and was talking to her, maybe to borrow a couple of bucks, I don't know. But anyway, they stopped at the Myers house. That was the house that the sister with the nice hair and the big titties was stabbed. She sat there and talked, and Michael Myers was in the house. He was in the house. And he saw them talking. She had to drop off some papers in an envelope. I think it might have been the newest Playboy magazine, because I used to get them myself at my house. And as they were going, he stood there watching them leave. And through the day, she kept seeing him with the white mask. Now, her and her friend were gonna babysit at separate houses across the street from one another that night. And, well, Laurie had the little boy. Her friend had a little girl she was watching across the street. And she sat there and they talked on the phone, and Michael Myers watched them through the windows. Such a pervert. I mean, I did that still, but he was a pervert. what happened was he sat there and he watched and he killed the dog because the dog was loud. And then after that, Laurie's friend took the little girl over the house where Laurie was to have her watch the little girl while she went out and got her boyfriend. They were gonna do naughty things at the house without the little girl there. And as they showed her leaving, she went to her car and she got in and she was killed. Michael Myers was in the back seat and killed her. Oh, it was sad. It was very, very sad. And then what happened was the little boy looked out of the window and saw a Michael Myers carrying that girl into the house. Nobody believed him. And then another car showed up. And in that car was another girl and a boy. A man, not a boy. It was more like, I would say, maybe 23, 24 years old. And they were in the house. And they were looking for the girl when she was killed. But they didn't know. And they found out the little girl was staying at the friend's house across the street. So they went in the room and they had sex. They didn't show it. They did a little rolling around in the bed. Nothing bad. It wasn't like those smut films, you know. Anyway, as they were done, the man, got out the bed and went to get beer. And as he was getting the beer, he heard a noise and he was killed. Michael Myers killed him. And then Michael Myers put on a sheet and walked into the room with the sheet on. And as the girl was on the phone, they showed her, make sure no one is watching this who was underage, but they showed her titties. And she said, "Do I have anything you like?" I liked it. But Michael didn't. And Michael, as she was on the phone, he went behind her and he killed her, choked her with the phone cord. And anyway, as the girl was next door, she saw that the two were watching TV, and so she left. Or were they in bed? I don't remember. But she left them alone. And she went to her friend's house to see if she was there. And she got in and she saw that no one was around. As she walked upstairs, she found her friend laying on the bed with a gravestone above her. And she screamed, and she saw her other friend was dead. And then they went, as she was backing up, Michael Myers went and raised a knife and stabbed her, but she fell over on the steps. And she got away, and he chased her back home. And as they were going, and she banging on the door, he kept walking slowly and slowly and slowly. I'm sorry. I had to pee. I had my depends on. Now let's continue. She got into the house. And she told the little boy and girl to hide. And then she hid in the closet. But Michael Myers broke through the closet and tried to strangle her. He did. But she grabbed the mask and flipped it up and showed his face. He was a young man. And as he was pulling the mask down, the Dr. Loomis from the beginning and the one in the gray overcoat shot him 6 times. And Michael Myers flew off the balcony and died. But when the doctor looked, the body of Michael Myers was not there. And oh, it was scary. But Halloween was a very, very scary film. And people enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. And I hope you enjoyed my review of Halloween. Well, it wasn't quite a review. It was just mostly me telling you what the story was. And so you don't have to watch it if you didn't see it. But that was Halloween. 1978 classic. So I hope you enjoyed tonight's video. And please like and subscribe. Now that's my dog in the background telling me it has to go out. But please like and subscribe and join me for many other videos coming. Good night, everyone, and thank you for spending your time with me, Uncle